we're now a part of the top 5 coldest games in NFL history. But the game itself was tough. The season is now over, which
that's why
sucks.
I'm in my vacation.
In his Cancun fit.
I'm in Cancun fit. My Dolphins fanhood is going to be going to Cancun.
Yeah.
All right. What is up, everybody? We're back from the tundra.
We are back.
We're back from the negative 6 degrees and negative 30 wind chill.
Yeah.
To say the least, it was definitely an experience. Unfortunate, obviously, event in terms of the wins and losses that occurred out there. But I am extremely happy we did that. It was fucking an insane experience.
Same. Yeah, I agree. Sorry, I was a little bit distracted. We actually just got scored on.
Oh, we scored again. Let's go.
We got scored on.
Oh, shit.
No, but I completely agree. It was, obviously you wish we won. And even if the game was even a bit closer,
right.
Even though they were still it was a 1-score game for a while, or even 2-score.
For the most part, we were in it.
Yeah.
As little as things were happening.
Yeah.
Because we kept holding them to field goals, it felt like we were in it.
Exactly. But overall, like you said, the experience was amazing. Arrowhead, super cool. The fact that just the day of travel that we did of just all the flights and getting there, how cold it was. Our driver was a character. I mean, everything was really cool. The fans were super nice. We were just talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Everything outside of the game was a really cool experience. I don't regret going. We're now a part of the top 5 coldest games in NFL history. But the game itself was tough. The season is now over, which
that's why
sucks.
I'm in my vacation.
In his Cancun fit.
I'm in Cancun fit. My Dolphins fanhood is going to be going to Cancun.
Yeah.
They're going to enjoy a few months in the warmth, defrosting and just recovering from what in reality was a brutal December and January as a Dolphin fan.
Yes, it was.
We were on a high horse, in October, even after the Cowboys game.
Yeah.
We felt like we were back after a tough loss to Tennessee, and ultimately that Tennessee loss was huge for us in the end.
It was
all of this.
It cost us the home playoff game. It also, obviously the Bills game did too, but really. Right. We had Tennessee right there, that we needed to take care of this. That's the game that really you look back at it, it's really that's the game. But it is what it is. Season is unfortunately over, and it sucks. It really sucks, especially now you're seeing all the interviews of the postseason stuff, guys cleaning out their lockers, and it's just man.
I know. When are we gonna get it,
dude? And then to add on top of that, then the Lions win last night, and now we hold the longest drought of a playoff win, not only in the NFL, in all the 4 major sports.
That's so wild. That's so wild.
Oh my God.
I knew about the NFL thing, but when you told me about all the sports, it's here is all the ammunition that everyone in the media needs to basically be I told you so.
They were taking their laps.
Oh, of course.
Coward was taking his lap. Everyone who had been
They're
doubting
saying I
us
told
all
you
these
so.
years.
I mean, and I get it. I genuinely get it. I don't get it when they were saying it, but they're able to now go back and use it as ammunition. And it sucks because we have all the talent in the world with this team. I know we were banged up, but to now hold the record for the longest playoff drought and have it in our hands, that makes it hurt so much.
I know.
It hurts. But the thing that makes me feel a little bit better about it is that the Dallas Cowboys got smoked at home against the Green Bay Packers in a dome with no weather, nothing. At least we have a little bit of a something.
Just to make fun
and
of
healthy.
Lou. Just to make fun of Lou. That's all we've got.
Yeah,
we got
100%.
Now our season has turned into just hey Lou, remember when we beat you and you also got knocked out against the 7th seed?
Are you kidding me?
That's our strength. That's our lane now. Because that's all we got.
That's all we have.
That's
all we can have is we can talk shit to the Cowboys fans and be ha.
Yeah.
Because honestly, we're one and the same with them right now.
I know.
That's the most fucked
It's
part
funny
about
seeing all the tweets of the logo mashups. Like there's like the Cowboys logo, but in dolphin colors, or like the two mascots like shaking hands. Like
I did see that.
That's all we got.
The best part is we beat the Cowboys, so technically we have the edge on them in terms of being
category.
The battle of the poverty franchises. We win that.
The battle of the irrational fans.
Yeah, that becomes more and more of a reality now.
Listen,
we are.
Listen, it sucks. The game sucked. The ending of the season sucked. But there's still a lot of positives. Like there's still, you can't really see it. Maybe not now. Give it a little bit. There's still a lot of positives in
100%.
terms of where this team, I guess the levels or the highs that the team achieved is still something to build off for next year.
Right.
And it sucks that we already have to talk about next year.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've got draft picks now. We've got a lot of the guys are going to be coming back. There's still a few question marks, right?
Of course.
Armstead just said he might be retiring.
That'll make things interesting.
Be crazy. We don't know still what's going to happen with Tua in terms of, I mean, he'll still be here. But, in terms of long term, you got a lot of guys that could either have to renegotiate their contracts, take a pay cut, or we're going to let them go, things like that. So who knows? This offseason is going to be a bit crazy, but I think that we got a lot to work, like a lot of positives to work on.
Right.
And it's still one of the best seasons in our lifetime. And obviously ended with a bit of a dud. But
dude, when have we ever talked about the Dolphins hypothetically making it to the Super Bowl? Like actually being
like
optimistic about it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately that didn't even get close to happening in terms of, the playoffs and all that. But our team is there, right?
Yeah.
And to your point, there's a lot to figure out this offseason in terms of cap. We're right now we're scheduled to be 40 mil over the cap.
Yeah.
So obviously we're gonna have to work a lot of contracts. Mm-hmm. We're gonna have to determine a lot of the long-term plans, like guys like Wilkins, guys like Jerome Baker, guys like Tua, guys like X. There's contracts that exist now, and there's contracts that need to be built. You would think so, depending if we keep guys like Agba. And then even in the next 2 years, you're going to have a Jalen Phillips that might need to get paid, a Jalen Waddle, Javon Holland, guys that all deserve to get paid and are a huge part of the team in the next 5 years, right? Because you're going to be thinking about how can you win next year, but you also need to build a team that's going to be winning for the next 5. I mean, look at the Chiefs. The Chiefs are still in contention with paying Mahomes a crap load of money, right? Obviously, they lost pieces, but here they are. They won their division again. They won a playoff game, right? I mean, that's what you want to be able to replicate if you're the Dolphins. It's not like a one-and-done situation. I mean,
unfortunately, what the Chiefs have that we don't is Andy Reid.
No, I disagree. Well, yes,
Mahomes too, obviously.
Mahomes is the big one.
I mean, I think watching that game, you can tell that one coach had Hall of Fame experience, and the other coach.
Right, exactly. Which I think that's where Mike McDaniels has to grow the most. Is he generally does get out coached against the best coaches in the league.
He likes
Sean
to get
McDermott's,
a bit too
the Andy Reid's,
bit too cute. But I'm not too worried. So McDaniel, I agree. McDaniel.
He's a young coach, though.
He's still young. Like I think McDaniel is going to continue to grow on these things. Like there's a lot of scenarios where and you can see it throughout the season, like short yardage, like let's get cute and lose yards.
Yeah.
Or time management, like we're trying to save, whether it's timeouts or like trying to score to end the half, and like we just somehow like fumble those scenarios. Like those are things that he'll get better at. This is still his only second year ever being a head coach.
Right.
And we've seen improvements each year. So hoping that next year we see that jump. And I agree to an extent with what you're saying that for the next 5 years thing. I'm on the camp. We need to go all in next year.
Yeah.
It's all in next year or bust for me. You're not going to be able to sign all these guys like you said. Yeah. And it's like you've got the team to win now. You have to win now. Like there's no other option.
No, we have a legit like 2 year window when you think about it because of the Tyreek situation.
Yeah, but it's still like, I mean, the 201 is, I mean, I guess we obviously have his 5th year option, and then you can tag him next year. So we can technically still have him for 2 years if you don't want to pay him the super long contract yet.
Right.
But there's still going to be a lot of pieces that, are going to kind of come and go. But next year, I think is the year you got to go all in because I don't care. Like, if you just win me one, I don't care what happens the next 4 years.
I agree. I agree.
We're too good
Yeah.
to not go for it next year.
Yeah.
And yes, we have Reek for 2 more years, but Reek's going to get older. He got a little bit banged up this year. Everyone on our team was a little bit banged up this year. Like, those are the things that you kind of also got to get lucky with in terms of injuries. And we didn't get lucky this year. No. And next year,
we haven't been lucky, honestly.
Phillips and Chubb probably won't be coming back till mid-year, which means they're hopefully going to be healthier for the later in the season, the playoff run. But yeah, it's really about staying healthy, but I think you got to go all in, man. You got to go all in now because our window's still going to be a little open the year after, but like next year is the best shot we've got.
Is the year.
And our schedule so far is what it looks like is a bit easier than this year.
A bit easier. Yeah, people are making it seem to be easier. I mean, you have it's not going to be easy.
It's just because of the people we avoided as opposed to this year.
Right. We got the Niners. So basically, we played the NFC South and the AFC South.
Yeah, but we avoided the Chiefs and the Ravens, and we ended up getting.
And we avoided the Lions.
And the Lions. That means, because we get.
We get the Raiders again.
The Packers. That's what it was.
We get the Raiders.
Yeah.
We get the Packers, and then we get what's the other one? Ravens. Who's in the Ravens division?
So we get the Steelers.
Steelers, there you go.
So, on paper, a bit easier. So, whatever. All in all, still positive season.
Yeah.
But didn't reach the levels that it should have and could have reached. So it kind of leaves with a sour taste in your mouth, especially the fact that, like we mentioned, like we still have this massive drought, and the fact that we weren't able to do it on this 11-win crazy season.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tough, but you got to just kind of hope, things are addressed in the offseason. You got to trust the front office. You got to trust Mike McDaniel, and we just go all in next year because that's all we got left.
What would be your early offseason checklist? Like,
that's what I was about to ask.
Things that you would want for this offseason to be achieved, like what would be those things?
Yeah, what are the priorities?
I want some dogs. I think that one of the true criticisms of this team is that, to an extent, that we can be semi-soft and more flashy.
Yep.
Because of the type of players we have, right? We're a speed team. We're a speed team. We've got a lot of skill guys, even on the defensive side. A lot of big skill guys.
We need some more physicality.
We need some more physicality. We need some more like those just dogs. Kind of like I look at the Lions yesterday. I'm like, dude, every play, everyone's like going 150 mile per hour.
I don't see
and
they're
all laying hits. Like,
I don't see
they don't care what's going to happen. Like that's the level. And then you see our game, and you see Patrick Mahomes running at the sideline, and Eli Apple and Duke Riley are kind of like just going like that. Yeah. Like no, like someone
just take at that point. Just rip them.
If you get the flag, you get the flag. Rock him like that. That's the type of those are the type of guys that I want.
Yeah,
I'm not even like position specific, but it's just like I need
more
because we have some of those guys, but like we also have a lot of flash and like it's just kind of the style that we play.
I agree.
So that's kind of what I'm looking for, and then as many O-line as men as we can get. We improved this year, and we'll get Connor back next year. And who knows about Armstead? We obviously signed Austin Jackson, hoping we sign Robert Hunt. But let's see.
A guy like Kendall Lamb would be great to keep around.
We'll probably have to draft one. We've got the 23rd pick.
You bring Isaiah Wynn back.
Isaiah Wynn and a Kendall Lamb. I think they both had very good seasons considering the situation.
But you need depth, like we saw this year. Like you guys, we need depth at the line.
Connor Williams is a big one. Do you re-sign him? If not, you got to really figure out what your center position. Yeah. I mean, if you see the numbers, we were 5th in sacks allowed. We were like 20-something in sacks allowed after Connor.
But it's also like how much time is he going to miss next year too? Because he's another one that'll probably have to come in mid-season.
He tore the ACL
semi late in the season.
ACL midway through, he'll be close. Yeah,
well, Phillips was Achilles, but
he'll be close to figuring out when he'll be back. But I agree. But maybe you can get him for the cheap-ish, and bring him back and have him for the 3/4 of the season or whatever it is. But you got to figure out what you're going to do at center. If Armstead now, you got to figure out what you do at left tackle. You still have what do you do at left guard? Is it Eichenberg? Is it somebody else? We don't know.
Yeah.
Is it Wynn, right? So those are pieces that you need to have. Obviously, depth is extremely important.
We'll be good at running back.
But I do think that what ended up happening with this offense in the second half of the people knew that Tua's going to get the ball out of his hands fast, and you're going to have to disrupt the lanes that they're going to throw in. And we like to work up the seams. We like to work the middle of the field, and defenses were taking that away. And I think Tua did a good job of trying to find his reads. He's not a one-read quarterback. What happens is the pocket collapses, and he's not that mobile guy that you're going to be able to get away with sitting in the pocket, read 1, read 2, read 3, you know?
And our offense isn't designed.
And our offense is not designed that way. So it's if Reek's not open on that first read and then Waddle's double covered on the second read, then, you know, now he has nowhere to go with the ball.
I think the biggest thing I've seen like in this last stretch is that you can tell that we miss like that big physical receiver, like that big target that just like sitting in the middle like a Travis Kelce. Someone said it.
You see some of these routes though, and they're brutal, man. They're brutal. They're running these little curl routes, and the corners are all up on them, and there's nowhere to go with the ball. Like I did see guys were not getting open, and it was a mix of that, guys not getting open, and also Tua trying to force balls to his playmakers when he didn't need to. I think those two things, if you can figure that out with the offense, you know, build a stronger offensive line so Tua can actually go through his progressions and build him to be like the Drew Brees quarterback that he is.
Slow the game down also. Like,
it's always like this. I mean,
but
within
it also
2
works
plays,
to our advantage at times too.
But like
so
in these games,
it doesn't late in December and January though. That's the thing.
Well, because we were banged up. Like remember, Waddle was also like playing 50%. You can see him limping out there on the field. Mostert was not 100% either.
No, neither was Tyreek.
Our O-line wasn't. Yeah, Tyreek was also not 100%. Tua probably also wasn't even 100%. But like, it's still like we.
No
need
one's 100% at the end. of the year.
We needed like kind of almost at times like we can still have those like big, like type of like the style that we run.
We did, and we had a Tyreek bomb.
But we also need to dumb it down a little bit in terms of like run more drag routes and just to have that guy. They did
little slow crossing routes too.
Yeah,
Rashid Rice ate us up.
I think Fangio showed who he was because I think even with a decimated defense, like we still had.
We still play. Yeah, we
were gave us a chance, but we have to also realize we also gave up 430 yards of offense.
But it's big.
Hold the ball
I agree. I don't blame the defense at all.
We held the field goals.
Red zone defense was phenomenal.
It's big bend don't break defense. And when you're that banged up, that's kind of all you can ask for.
Yeah.
And we did it back-to-back weekends where we were bend don't break.
We didn't give up points.
We didn't give up that many points, and then our offense just kind of laid an egg. The last 2 weeks have 100% been on our offense. It's been on Tua, it's been on McDaniel, and it's been on, and not as much Reek this game. Reek had that crazy bomb play. But like, it was these last 2 games really it comes down to McDaniel and Tua a lot.
Your big three, yeah.
And you know, Tua made a lot of bad mistakes. He had a couple good plays. He used his legs a couple times. Yeah. But like it just
he didn't make enough plays.
He doesn't make enough plays at the end when you kind of need him to. He's not that difference maker. Maybe like this is something you know, hopefully another offseason where, you know, he has his full, grow. He's still young too. Like, yes, like he's been
second year in this offense.
Yeah. Like,
first season fully healthy. First NFL season. He actually played a first full NFL season here. You know? And led in passing yards and all that stuff. And I know the stats don't mean everything at the grand scheme of situational football.
Yeah.
But he finally got it under his belt to experience that atmosphere, experience that pressure, you know? And now, to your point, how does he take that into the offseason? How does Mike take that into his job? How does he take that into his workouts? You know, I think it's another opportunity for Tua to take another big leap and this offense to take another big leap.
I think someone said it that like every offseason he's improved something.
Exactly.
Like the biggest question mark was his health. He stayed healthy. Was it the offense that was catered to be making him healthier? Sure. We had a full year of staying on your feet, not getting hit. Like now we have
the jiu-jitsu worked.
Yeah. Legs. I would say legs. Clean up the bad timely interceptions of forcing throws, and then I think the play calling. Those 3 things. If you could find a way to make those work, continue to use the run game as your catalyst to set up the passing offense. Yeah. Because our run game was great this year. It was the best Mike McDaniel run game, which we know that's what his specialty is. It was the best we've seen it this year. We saw Achane and what he's capable of.
Yeah.
Mostert obviously had a great year, but Mostert's on the tail end of it. Achane, I would like to see put on maybe like 15 pounds.
Achane would take the lead next year. Do we have Mostert next year?
We signed him for 2 years.
A 2 year?
Was it a 2-year deal?
Yeah. So it'll still be a good 1-2 punch there. But yeah, man, it's just we're gonna need to like. I think it's literally next year or bust for me.
Need to get bigger on offense. I feel like it's sometimes you can tell we're missing like a guy.
We got to get more physical on defense too. I'm sorry, our corners.
And I think it's just banged. I mean,
obviously not having X is a big thing, man. But dude, we get
Cam Smith did healthy scratch again. I don't know what's up with Cam Smith, but Cam Smith as of right now is looking like a massive bust.
Yeah, exactly.
He hasn't played at all. Like how
that's on Fangio. Fangio says he doesn't want to play him.
He looked good in preseason. Like he showed flash. Okay, this kid can play. But like.
Yeah, I don't know if there's something else going on.
We'll see. You take this offseason to try to develop him. If he doesn't work, then it's another Noah basically situation on our hands.
Oh my God.
That's basically what it'll become.
I know.
If you can't develop him this offseason, it's not that easy to come in as a rookie corner and ball out. Obviously, this is a tough system too. Everyone has said that on the defense. That is not an easy system to learn.
Yeah.
But when you do, it makes the game interesting and fun on the defensive side.
I feel like Coho took a step back.
He did take a step back. 100% he did. I agree. I don't know why. I don't know if it was a system thing, putting him in bad situations, but he basically, I think, gave up a perfect passer rating when the ball was thrown his way.
We need a new punter also.
It's brutal.
It's tough.
That's brutal.
We need a new punter also. We need a punter.
Listen, man, I don't know what the hell happened in that. The Chiefs didn't punt that much, so it was hard to give a comparison of if it was like a ball thing and it was frozen.
The kickoffs too, like the ball was.
Yeah, no one was kicking the ball in the air. He was relatively good. I'm not married to keeping him, but. I mean, those are tough conditions clearly to kick the ball in.
We need a big guy at receiver. We need a big receiver, whether that be go out and get Mike Evans or get a bigger tight end.
Oh my God, you can't afford Mike Evans.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to afford Mike Evans.
Well, I'm just saying we need
I would love Mike Evans.
No, I think I would love to get another tight end, but draft one, not sign one.
Draft one.
We need bigger size, man. Like I feel like all these teams we play, like their tight ends have been the most open, like. The Dawson Knoxes, Dalton Kincaids, Travis Kelce wide open in the middle of the field. Like we don't have that. We don't have a big guy that, or even like in the red zone. Like you want to run a pass on the 2-yard line, throw to someone that's 6'5", not someone that's 5'10", 5'9". And they're always generous with those heights. Like for all we know, Jalen Waddle can be my height.
No, I mean he doesn't look like he's huge on the field.
When I was working with all these kids from New York, like they'd be 6 feet on their
right, they're really like 5'10".
They're 5'7" on that day.
No,
come on, bro.
We don't have size there at receiver. It would definitely be good to have a bigger target for Tua and utilize him in a different way. But I mean, all in all, we were the number one offense this year.
Yeah.
It didn't show up late in the season for whatever reason that may be, whether that's defenses just having film, not adapting, that's a little bit above our pay grade. In reality, we're seeing from the outside in. But, what we do know is that we can run the ball and we can use that as an advantage to set up the passing game and you build more pieces, right? We'll see. I mean, Mike McDaniels, people are saying for him to give up the play calling. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I don't agree.
I don't know if I agree with that either.
I don't agree with that. I don't mind. I'm sure like he's been questionable at times, but I don't know. I trust him more than I don't know. I don't want to
anybody else
depends who we get, but
there's a big chance Frank Smith might get a head coaching gig.
I don't think he will.
Yeah, I think he might. Honestly,
you think so?
Mm-hmm.
What, Carolina?
Maybe.
I think
that's the only place I can really see him realistically going.
He needs to just stop getting fancy. Like sometimes he just has to go back to
old school football.
We don't have a San Francisco personnel because everyone there is big.
Right.
Even Samuel's huge. George Kittle's huge. Ryan's gross. Like we don't have that kind of scheme. But like sometimes you just have to slow it down and play ground and football.
Yeah.
Like we probably didn't have that many first downs because everything was 40-yard shots downfield.
A lot of penalties too on short down distance.
They didn't take big shots. They were just
marching, slow, methodical drives, which that's how you beat the Dolphins. Keep the offense off the field, and then when you do get them on the field, play physical ball against them, and they're going to make mistakes, and that's the winning recipe against us.
And and our O-line, like as much as you can tell that we're. I mean, there's one play where Liam Eichenberg was into his lap. That he literally went for a pass and he hit him on the helmet.
Yeah, there's definitely still a good amount of holes, but like. I still rank. You put our roster against anybody else in the league.
When we're fully healthy, I think we can beat anyone.
We're top 3 in the league. Like we're still.
I think we can beat anyone.
We can bring guys back.
Fully healthy.
The health thing is big, and it's like having to make adjustments like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
being more ground and pound, like
Mahomes 30 yards passing in the second half in Germany.
Yeah, exactly. And even I don't know. Like I the defense for me is the least of my worries, to be honest. For now, and then it's more of I don't know. It's just it's that feeling of can we do it with can you do it with Tua essentially? That's kind of the big question. That's what a lot of people are going to be asking this offseason.
Everyone's going to be asking. I generally do think we can. I know a lot of people don't think we can, but I mean, he's proven that he can be a good passer in this league.
Yeah, I think we can also, but
I think it all comes down to the offensive line, though. That's my opinion on Tua.
But I do think that it's next year a bust for Tua. If you can't do it next year, then you gotta move on.
But what's next? Like, what does that look like?
If you can't win a playoff game or make a big run next year, then he's out.
Top 3.
But if Tua plays well and you still lose.
Yeah, I guess, but like he's like,
lose, was it a shootout that we put up 40 points?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
I guess, but like
he goes for 5,040 touchdowns, and we lose in the shootout in the round 1 to like a Ravens that he had 400 yards. And
yeah.
No, I know, but it's just like, but we haven't like I don't know. It's like late in the season. There's a lot of questions with him.
Yeah.
Like it's like, can he do it when the lights get bright?
Yeah, exactly.
So
yes, I agree with that.
Yeah,
but again, this is literally his first season having to do this.
It's
no, I know.
Playoff game ever.
So I do think next year is the way to really go about it, which is why I don't know. Everyone's saying that they're gonna do the long-term-ish deal this offseason.
I don't think they're gonna do it.
You don't think they'll do it?
No.
It needs to be, I don't think they go crazy and pay him 40, 50 mil.
I think they're going to go 5th-year option, and then they're going to go franchise tag him. The year after.
2 more years.
Mm-hmm.
I think that
really they can do all that still.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to start using his legs more. That's the one thing that's missing from his game: the ability to just extend the play out.
Well, I think he will. I think they needed to make sure that he stayed healthy this year, so they probably were like, "Don't run the ball."
You bulked up now, lean out a little bit, work the legs. Work getting outside of the pocket, and like McDaniel just has to be like, get out of his shell and be like, dude, like. We have to design plays when stuff breaks down.
Yeah.
Like, we have to tell our receivers, like, listen, because the Chiefs did it beautifully.
Yeah. Well, listen, at the end of the day, they still have Mahomes. They still have Mahomes. Like, they have Mahomes.
Too, man.
Like, as much as I love Tua, I do think Tua
no pressure.
I think Tua's a top 12 quarterback in this league, but there is a gap when you're watching him versus a Mahomes. Well, obviously, there's a gap with most quarterbacks when you're watching him versus Mahomes or him, honestly, and a Lamar. Like, there's still a gap.
I think we're comparing the wrong quarterbacks.
But we have to compare him to them because that's what you need to get to that level in terms of that's the type of productivity that you need. Like you see who's winning these days. Like it's them.
I also feel like,
and once again, I like Tua a lot, and I'm ready to keep him.
But that's what what I'm going to say right now is then Tua is if you're going to go based off of that conversation of the Mahomes and Lamar, you're comparing them to. Everyone is, because you're not the only one that does this. Everybody does it. You're comparing did they just score again?
And they scored a shorthanded too.
Damn it. You're comparing a different quarterback. To me, he's a Drew Brees. If you could build that type of system, then I definitely think Tua can be successful. If that's not what we're willing to do, able to do,
but it's just the league is
that's where I'm going. And then it's a different system. Then you know what? Then right there, right now, I could tell you Tua is not the guy because Tua will never be that quarterback.
I think Tua is still the guy in terms of like, I like Tua.
He's not athletic
I still want Tua as our quarterback next year. I'm just not ready to give him the extension. That's what I'm saying.
That's fair.
He still has things to prove for me to get that extension. I still want him because I still think he's a top 12 quarterback in this league. I still think he's a QB1. There's just guys and you see the top guys now. Who they are? It's Mahomes, Josh Allen. It's Lamar Jackson. I guess Burrow when healthy.
So, but how about this? Tua is the only quarterback in his draft class that hasn't gotten an extension.
I know. And to be honest, I would still not give to him.
I mean, Joe Burrow
not yet. Yeah, Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts went to the Super Bowl. Justin Herbert is actually it's kind of. I agree. He puts up insane numbers.
The one that I'm not going to compare. The name I really want to compare. I'm not comparing him, Hurts or Burrow, because of the fact that they went to Super Bowls. But also the one I wanted to compare is the Herbert.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Herbert got an insane contract, and then you saw them suck this year. So
yeah,
you know what I mean. He's that's. But Herbert, skill wise,
he has the
athleticism. Skill wise, what he can do. He does things that are better than Tua. Tua also does things that are better than Herbert in terms of Tua's more accurate than Herbert.
Anticipation.
Tua fits this offense. I mean, sure, Herbert will probably fit this offense too. Yeah. I think a lot of people would fit this offense.
Yeah.
But Herbert, you're seeing the repercussions of paying him super early. Granted, he's still a freak athlete, and he's shown a little bit, I guess, more in terms of his skill level. But I think him and Tua is actually a real good conversation.
Right.
To why that maybe we don't fully extend him yet.
Yeah.
Because because then you for Tua, like you mentioned, you need to build around that offense. In order to keep all these guys, you're gonna have to keep Tua on the.
person in that class had a good year this year because Jalen Hurts.
100%. Jalen Hurts took a back step, but
Burrow hasn't been healthy either. So if we're gonna make the argument on that, I think the skill's there for Burrow. But are you gonna have the conversation? You just gave a guy an extension that hasn't been healthy on the field.
But Burrow, they're always going. Burrow and Hurts are going to get the pass because they went to the Super Bowl.
Right.
That's it. You take me to a Super Bowl.
It's like
you can do whatever the fuck
my
you
thing
want.
is, I think in today's world of the NFL, everyone's in a rush to say this is the guy or this is not the guy.
Yeah,
right? And fair. I think the Burrow conversation is still there. He made it to one Super Bowl, and I think he's extremely talented.
Crazy
but
good either.
Who's to say that he's going to be a top 5 quarterback when it's all said and done? Who's to say that Herbert's going to even be there? Who's to say that Hurts is going to be there? Hurts is having a super down year.
They lose.
Josh Allen still hasn't fucking, there's just still so much. The two that I can go to my grave and say, you know what? These guys are beasts because they win. They do shit that nobody else can do is Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. After that, I think it's a fucking wide open conversation.
And even Lamar technically hasn't even really
I still think there's shit to be proven.
but with Lamar, at least he's won 2 MVPs, so it's like shit.
And I think there's a lot of factors there. I think with Lamar still, I think obviously his numbers aren't the sexiest numbers in the world. I think this is a year for him to obviously prove a lot of people in his continuous play. But he is, but look at his playoff record. It's not very good either.
No, it's not.
That's, so it's like we're doing this whole thing about Tua, right? But you got to look at it in the huge picture. It's Mahomes to me, and it's everybody else here.
It's just
even Josh Allen.
When you do the eye test though, when you see
I understand the eye test.
God, I understand. It's and once again, I don't want to make it seem like I don't I love Tua.
No. It's an honest conversation. It's an honest conversation.
It's like you see Tua go up against Mahomes. You see Tua go up, even Josh Allen.
I agree.
And Lamar, and there's things that they do that those guys do to win games
1,000%.
that I haven't seen Tua necessarily do. Sure, there's been games like the drive against the Cowboys, right? The game against the Chargers this year, he was great.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just when we need this team most, and it's not just Tua, it's also a lot falls on McDaniel. And they're both young and they're both growing and things like that. It's just the question really is whether you're willing to pay Tua all this money.
Yeah.
Because once you do that, there's a lot of other questions around the team that we're going to have to lose a lot of guys to do that. And it's do you think Tua can still do it?
Right. Are you going to go all in and then suffer? That's the biggest question.
We have to just say listen, bro, you have to get out of the pocket. You have to that's the thing that separates him from all these other guys, is the ability to
extend plays with his legs.
Yeah. If he comes in this next year and he's the first play, the pocket collapses and he's out and he's taking off, finding options and takes off for a run, even if it's 5 yards, but at least it's positive.
Yeah. No.
At least we're moving forward.
I don't think this offense is used to that either. So even when he has done that in the past, he has nowhere to go to the ball because no one's actually expecting us to do that.
We've seen him do it.
Did he not score that?
How are we going to score that?
We've seen him do it. I mean, I think his rookie year he ran.
He did. He used his legs a lot more.
Even last year.
But you got to remember, he got hurt. That was a big thing coming from up top saying, Tua, we love you, and I know you want to run the ball. I'm sure Tua wants to run the ball.
I think it's a mix. I think he's also scared.
I think a little bit is he doesn't want to take the big hits.
You're putting yourself out there to get smacked.
I mean,
and you're dealing with a guy.
Lamar also was a guy that was running the ball a lot. Freak athlete. He was getting hurt. I mean, you don't want your franchise quarterback to be running the ball a fuck ton.
I'm saying if it's there,
you take it and you can see 4 yards. You take the 4 yards, 100%.
I mean, Josh Allen,
100%.
3rd and 13, and he just went untouched.
Exactly. 6'5", runs like a 540. Weighs 270 pounds.
He's a freak.
He's a freak. We need to slim down a little bit because you can tell.
Trust in Nick. Trust in Nick. We'll see. A big offseason. We're gonna see. I mean, a lot. To Dave's point, a lot of positive take. A lot of room to grow. This team knows they can win. This team knows that they're more than capable of. Yeah. Next year is a big year for sure. I mean, the window is closing, but if we got to trust in the guys that we have. And I think, next year obviously will tell a lot, just like I think this year told a lot. Mm-hmm. It's a super unfortunate ending. No. But until then, it's going to be the continuous narrative until you change it.
I know, yeah.
I mean, we're going to have this conversation for the rest of our life as Dolphin fans. Yeah. Until we can prove that we can go and make a deep run into the playoffs. Healthy or not healthy, you got to go do it. That's just the reality of the fact.
It is what it is.
Find a way.
I hope we open up with the 49ers next year at home, week 1. It's the 49ers at home.
Well, they're saying the Brazil game actually might be week 1.
I just hope it's against a really good team.
That's the rumor.
Like,
I hope it's not the Packers. I hope it's not the Packers.
I know. I want
to
go
to Lambeau so bad.
Me too.
That's like selfishly, like I don't want that game to be the Brazil game.
And that's
because
the
I
rumor
want to
right
go to
now.
Lambeau. I know.
Yeah, it's an away game.
Yeah.
It would be the Packers is on the road, yeah. But all right, well, as I said, we're going to Cancun. Our fanhoods are going to Cancun. They'll be back in April.
Yeah.
Ish, I guess.
Well,
unless
draft,
something happens back, then maybe we'll make a flight back real quick. But until then, our fanhood will be watching the Panthers, which are playing right now. Yeah, the Miami Heat. And a lot of golf talk. We got some big tournaments coming up. Yeah. It's already been a great start to the year. Yesterday, the Sony Open went into a 3-man
it's crazy.
playoff, and then won on a 40-foot putt.
Trust me, I had a Bian.
Oh, did you really?
Outright, and he lost in the...
Was he the one that missed that 5-footer to force the next hole?
Yes. Yeah, that was him.
Oh, my God.
That was him. That was him. It was tough. It was a tough one.
Pressure in golf is big, man.
Yeah.
But it's... A lot of good. Panthers are in the mix.
Yeah.
Heat are completely in the mix. I don't know why we can't score right now with the puck right in the. But Panthers are playing great hockey. Heat are playing good basketball without Jimmy right now. Obviously these are longer seasons, so it's a little bit of a different weight going in every game, and it doesn't really start picking up till later in the year. So we'll have some content for sure. We'll have to kind of get a little bit more creative because we have no Finns to talk about.
Finns really carried us for the fall because it's.
We'll have some more guests on, I think, too, coming up. We can get really creative, get some good Q&As coming in, and we might have Vaughn coming on the pod soon.
Yeah.
Shout out Vaughn, we'll have a bunch of shit to talk about soon. But hell of a run it was. I'm glad we got to do Kansas City in the -30. And experience that, I think that was definitely the highlight of the year, to say the least.
And
he broke the curse this year. He broke the curse this year. There's a lot of good shit.
There's still a lot of good, man.
A lot of good shit that came out of this year.
We're still so right there,
I am excited to see our guys in the Pro Bowl too.
Go!
Look at that. You see, we talk about good things happen. And we get to see our boys in the Pro Bowl this year. I'm excited.
Is Pro Bowl in Vegas this year or Orlando?
I don't know where it is. I think it's been in Orlando, but I don't know. It's the first week of February. Are you looking it up?
Yeah. Where is Pro Bowl? Maybe if it's in Orlando, we'll make a trip up.
That would be cool, actually.
Where is Pro Bowl?
I would actually be very down to do that.
Nah, it's gonna be. Orlando.
Oh, we should ride to that, dude. That actually would be a cool little fucking trip.
That may be.
What is it? February 3rd, February 4th, right?
Yeah.
All right, stay tuned. We might do a little Pro Bowl trip.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Be down as fuck for that. That'd be dope.
I'll get my permission.
All right. So good run, good season.
Yeah.
On to basketball and hockey
and golf.
A lot of golf.
Baseball too. Baseball's around the corner.
Baseball is around the corner in April. Marlins are making some interesting moves, so we'll see what happens. A lot of guys that like Arias, which was the batting champion 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
But a lot of good things to come. So we'll see. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for joining us on the Fins ride this year.
Oh yeah.
It'll be a good season next year, and a lot of good to come. So peace.
Fins up.
Fins up.